Hi guys, welcome back. Lyra Rae here, aka Princess of Pleiades. Welcome back to episode 5. And if you have not watched all the other episodes leading up to this point, I highly recommend starting at episode 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, so you understand what's going on before you get to 5. Okay, so where we left off, this time me and Jesse have planned to go back to the woods, and this time we're going all in. We're going deep in there. So we have driven on the road multiple times, and we've noticed the whole area is fenced off, and there is an entrance gate where there's a sign that says government property, and you'll be fined blah 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 amount of dollars if you trespass, etc. We found this to be very interesting, that it was government property where these UFOs are landing. So we decided we're gonna hop the fence and see what's going on the other side. So late one night, we went back, parked the car across the street, walked over, climbed this huge gate, and hopped on the other side, and we're in. The road on the other side of the gate looks like it hasn't been used in quite a while. It's pretty overgrown with grass and stuff like that. We got hella brave this night. We're like, we are figuring this shit out tonight. We're going for it. We're doing it. No turning back now. So we hopped over, we got our flashlights, we got our hoodies, it's freezing outside, and we're ready to go on this journey. So we start walking, and we had actually pulled up the GPS and looked at the satellite map before and noticed that where these UFOs were landing at the same spot in the woods, it actually looks really strange on a map. There's a clear, perfect circle of trees around with nothing in the middle, and that's exactly where the UFOs were landing. So we decided that we were going to hop the fence and walk over to that area and see what we find. So it was actually a pretty long hike in there. I think we ended up walking about 3 miles in total. In the middle of the night, it's like pitch ass black. But we're really determined to get answers. So we're walking down the path. We were a little bit nervous about what kind of animals or things we were going to run into. Not so much worried about aliens, more worried about the animals that we were going to run into out there. But we're going for it. So we walk down this like overgrown road where we get to this main road, and this one looks like it's still in use. It's not overgrown with any grass or anything, and it's just a clear straight road. So we start walking down that way, and we're hearing this like rustling in the bushes next to us. And we are so dead set on, we want to see something physical like we did the first time, that we're not paying attention to anything that is not showing itself to us. So we're hearing this rustling. It's clearly following us. It's walking like right next to us in the bushes at the same pace that we're walking. And we're asking for it to show itself. And if it's not, then we're going to keep going. So we keep going. And so we're walking and walking and walking. We're hearing all kinds of crazy shit. We're hearing things over here. I'm sensing something over here. We are hearing the little chirping, squeaking sounds again. So we know that they're here, but we're not able to see them. So we're going to keep going until we see something. So we walk pretty far down the road, or following the map, and then it shows the only way for us to go is this way to the right. It's off the road. So now we have to go back into the forest. And it's getting pretty creepy up in here. So we're walking, and we're like literally seeing like paw prints on the ground of like who knows what, Florida panthers probably. We're hearing some like crazy like alien noises, and we're still going because we have got to get to this base. This is it. So we're going, and every once in a while we'll stop when we hear something that seems like it's really close to us, but we're like not letting anything slow us down. So we keep walking. There is all kinds of crazy things in this woods. There's spirits, there's aliens, I'm sure there's like alligators in the like swampy area, animals. And then we hear, like, I can't even explain all the different things that we heard. There was so much. We heard Native American drumming. We heard somebody hammering. We heard dogs barking. We heard crazy, just all different types of shit coming from this woods. Like, it's really interesting, all the things that were in there. And there's nobody that lives around here. We're in the middle of nowhere, you know? So it's not like, oh, it's somebody's house that's like right there. No, like, we're in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing else. There's nobody around. There's nothing it could have been. It's like literally coming from the woods. So we're getting deeper into the woods, and then we finally get to this ring of trees, and it is just so crazy. It's these like thick ass, I forget what they're called, like the like low like palm trees. I don't know. They're like the palm bushes, but they're like really sharp, and they're just this huge like thick ring of them, almost like natural barbed wire around this field where they're landing. So luckily, like, I'm ready. I wore my big ass boots. I wore like 2 pairs of pants, 2 jackets, and we're going in. And me and Jessie are just like, we're trying to hold on to each other and just like cut through all the like palms or whatever. And it took a lot, but we're like, damn, this shit is never gonna end. It was probably a good like 40 feet of just thick brushery that we had to cut through and climb over just to get to the other side. And we finally got to the other side, and it's just this huge, like, open field with this, like, dead brown grass type looking stuff that's pretty tall, probably goes up to, like, my hips. And it looks like there's nothing there. So we walked all this way, and we started walking around the field, and we're like, well, this is definitely it. This is what it says on the map, but there's nothing here. So we walked around for a bit, kind of like looking around, waiting for something to happen. And then we started to get like a not so good feeling. So we decided to call it a night. And I don't know what that feeling was or what energy it was, but we climbed out of there real quick and we started walking back, and there's definitely something following us like the whole way back. And almost like something didn't want us there. And so we trekked for this whole like mile and a half back or whatever it was, and climbed back over the fence. And then we were just like confused why we go through all that trouble. Why are they landing in that spot? And then it seemed like they wanted us to come in there. And then we finally go in and we walk all that way to get to that spot, and there's nothing there. So we're kind of like really, really disappointed and pretty upset, even though like they definitely were there. They just weren't what we wanted, because we wanted something physical. We wanted to see something physical like we did the first times. But ever since Jesse had said he didn't want to see them, they became invisible. So now we can't physically see them anymore. So we're pretty disappointed we didn't get to see something physical after all of that. But we're not giving up yet. We still have more questions that need to be answered. And we're wondering, this woods is so massive. There must be another way in there. So we start planning our next journey, our next adventure. Stay tuned and check out my website, princessofpleiades.com, to look at all my healing stuff and send me any UFO experiences that you might have. That would be cool to hear and share. Bye, guys.